Shout my hip hop since 1987, niggas. Hip hop since 1987.com.
Alright, it's your boy Brandon B. Wyche, here with Steve Rifkind. Alright, so we here today because you have All Def Digital, All Def Music. You know, it's a new label between you, Russ, and Brian. For those who don't know, you know, you're the man behind Loud Records, SRC Records. Can you tell us about why you decided to do music again?
I didn't think I was going to do it.
No. My homie just skated past.
I was getting out of the music business. I started managing a comedian who was on YouTube. Her name was Spoken Reasons. And at the time that I started managing Spoken Reasons, Brian Robbins started Awesomeness TV. And Brian's been my best friend for the past 30 years. And I was starting to take meetings about MCNs, you know, to different YouTube channels. Brian called me and says, you know, I just took a meeting with Russell. He goes, I think I'm going to do this thing with him. Why don't you join us? And I was like, not really. And he goes, why? I said, because I got, not only I have the Jay-Z of this, which was Spoken Reasons, and not only did I have Jay-Z, I felt I had, say, Irv Gotti or me with Hoop Mixtape and then DJ Ski. Those are my three biggest artists coming. And I was like, I'm going to try and figure out how to do this myself. And it had nothing to do, that's just how I was. So cut, you know, a few months later, he goes, will you have dinner with me and Russell? I go back with Russell since I'm 17 years old. So I said, yeah, no problem. And then, you know, after taking the meetings and literally ready to do this, I said, all right, you know, let's do this. I said, but, you know, there has to be one component. There has to be a music company component to this side of things. You know, and then my vision was actually also a little bit different than their vision, but it's actually perfect because we all stay in our own lane and just do what we feel that has to be done, you know, for the company.
So, I know you talk about the digital side. You know, I know, I checked the website out, you have a lot of featured channels on YouTube. You know, like you said, Ski TV, you know, Spoken Reasons having pretty much like most subscribers, over 1 million, things like that. So, so what's the purpose for the digital, All Def Digital, and what's the different purpose for All Def, you know, Music?
So, Russell, before I came aboard, Russell got, you know, funding from YouTube to start All Def Digital. And then him and Brian hooked up, and then I was like the third one to come in. And like I said, I was the one, you know, I was going to do it, just me and Spoken Reasons, we were going to do something ourselves. I wasn't necessarily more, like Brian comes from the TV world, you know, Russell's done TV movies, you know, of course music, and I come really just from the music world. So my philosophy was a lot different than this, which I was trying to explain earlier. It's like there's a network called MCN, which is a multi-channel network. So that's where you have, say, DJ Ski, Spoken Reasons, we have Hoop Mixtape, and if you collectively put it together, that could be the street team that I started in the 90s. So I said this could be the biggest marketing tool out there. It could be incredible for records, brands, you know, and my end game was, all right, this is going to be sold to an advertising agency 4 or 5 years down the road. So Brian comes from TV. He says content is king, and I agreed with him. But I wasn't necessarily worrying about the content. I was talking about, all right, I'm going to have this record company, and we're going to street, you know, we're going to grassroot it, or, you know, the street team through our multi-channel network. And that's, you know, so that's really the form. And then how All Def Music came, that was the philosophy on that. We sat down back with Lucien Grange, who is the chairman of Universal Music Group. We told him what we wanted to do, and we ended up getting 2 labels. There's the urban label, which is All Def Music, and then there's the pop label, that's the sister company to Brian's company, which is Awesomeness Music.
Okay. Now, you're talking about All Def Music, you know, Universal. What artists do you currently have on the label?
Tayyib Ali, right in the back. Wave your hand.
Tayyib Ali.
Philly zone.
Yeah. Tayyib Ali. Love Dollhouse out of Detroit, Michigan.
Okay.
We have a woman by the name of Nikki Heaton from, I guess, South Africa to Chicago to Florida. And she also has, she has around 100 million views with all her videos that she's put out. Those are the three. And then we have 3D Nati. Okay. That's out of New Orleans, who's winning like the new best hot female MC. We have her, and we have a kid by the name of Anthony Hall. Okay. And that's what we have so far.
Yeah, I remember watching one of your interviews. I think it was on the Breakfast Club. Now, how long are these like artists in deals for? I think it was like just a project or something unique about the situation.
I'm not doing LPs anymore. Okay. What I said was, I'm doing EPs. Okay. And as long as we're making money, that the artist is happy, we're happy. We know it's just gonna keep on flowing through. Okay. I mean, we're all protected. Like if he blows up, like I'm protected. Like if he doesn't blow up, he's protected where he could be. So, there's protection on both sides, and it's the wild west right this second. So it's like we're making rules as they come right this second.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. Now, there was another thing I noticed when I checked on the channel, was something called ADD52 with Samsung. Yeah. What's that about? I think it was like something 52 unsigned artists, 52 weeks.
So this is at SRC. The last 2 years, I wanted to put out a single a week. I was getting older. I wasn't out on the street. Not that I ever really was on the street, But I said, to make ourselves relevant. Wu-Tang was signed up for 12-inch deal. 3-6 Mafia was signed up for 12-inch deal. And I forgot the third one. I think it was Deluxe. Back in the day, off a 12-inch deal. And Twister. Excuse me. So it was 4. I was like, you know what? If I put out a single a week, we will find something, and we'll find out of the 52, we'll find 3. And those are the artists, and how about some of the producers that will be, and to me it was all about creating just that creative environment. When we sat down, Russell got the meeting. Russell owns a company called Narrative, and him and his partner who runs Narrative got this meeting with Samsung, and they turned some things around a little bit, but we had to help them with Milk Radio, and just it's give and take, but it's an opportunity where we're going to be able to put out a single a week, and we have some incredible music, and we are going to find 3 artists that are going to be around for a long time.
So out of the people that's currently signed to All Def Music, every week y'all release a new single?
Well, no, we only have 5 artists that are signed to between Awesomeness and All Def Music. Okay. But ADD52, we're gonna have 52 artists. Okay. 49. Okay. Because I already signed Tayyib to the label, Dollhouse to the label, and Nikki to the label. Okay. Okay. All right. So, for those who are not, musically talented, who not a rapper and things like that, but they want to, possibly run a label, they want to, be a manager. What's some advice you could give them? I mean, you hear it all the time. Not me, follow your dream, but how to follow your dream is you have to learn how to execute. Okay. You have your blog. Okay. Right? You had an idea, and what made it happen? Your execution. Then, as you grow, you get the best people around, and try and put the best teams together.
So what about, let's run with the example, my website. So what if one day we wanted to create it into a label? We got a nice city here, a ton of artists. What would we need to do to turn it into a label? Besides, getting the funding. But,
I mean, so say the funding's there. Like, what synergy will you really have? What could your site do to help blow up these artists?
Help promote them, put them out to the world.
Yeah, but it's executing. It's pressing the right button, getting it out right. If it's your blog, what are the other blogs? Because before there was Loud Records, there was the marketing company. I owned the name Street Team. I had the biggest marketing company in the world at one point. So you know, we went from promoting records to, you know, consulting Nike, to consulting a pharmaceutical company, to selling it to the largest advertising agency in the world in 1997. 1998, excuse me. 1997. So everything was about execution. A dream is only a dream, but a dream could become a reality if you execute.
Yeah. Wow, that's a lot. All right. Huh? That just, you know, made me think about a lot. All right, shift gears a little bit.
You need some water? You all right?
No, I'm okay. So Wu-Tang, right? They got this album that's coming out. Like, are you involved with that at all? Like,
no.
What about the thought process? Do you think it, you know, could work? Them selling album for millions?
What, the one album?
Yeah, that one album.
I don't bet against RZA. That, I mean,
okay.
The Breakfast Club asked me that.
Yeah.
I just don't bet against it.
Okay.
I mean, I was just finding out how much the Wu-Tang dunks are going for, the sneaker.
Yeah.
So I definitely don't bet against RZA.
All right, now talking about, you know, record deals. I know a lot of up and coming artists, when they start from day one, they want a record deal. They don't know why. And then we have something new that just came about, you know, in the last several years, 360 deals. You know, what are the pros and cons to the different type of record deals? I know a lot of people love 360s. Some people spoke out against it.
I'm against it, and I'm a record company guy. My thing is this: if I'm an artist, to be in the game, you have to give it. But it's really not fair for the artist. You know, at the end of the day, the record business is lazy, and I say this time and time again. Now, if you really want to have a 360, if you know, and I make a lot of enemies saying what I'm going to say. If you want to have a 360 deal with an act, and you want to have management, and you want to have publishing, and you want to have merch, then fucking do something where you could really be a manager, do something where you could really be a publisher, and do something where you could really do some merch. Just don't fucking take it because you're spending millions of dollars in marketing a band. Make that investment in everything else, so then you deserve a piece. You don't deserve a fucking piece just because you're paying market. They're signing a record contract.
That's it.
And you know, the record business wants to shoot me when I say it, but you know what? If we don't have the artists, we don't have anything.
Very true. Now it's a big shift. I think I was watching a debate earlier today. It was a big shift talking about, like, you know, people like Rihanna being, you know, they're not signed no more, and Jay-Z not being signed no more, and they're creating these type of partnerships with, you know, like Jay-Z just partnered with Samsung, just making things very unique, and how the whole culture is kind of shifting to being more independent now. How do you think that favors the, you know, the artists going forward? You know, just being more independent. They're conducting their own business. You got Nipsey doing his thing. I mean, stuff like that.
They're brands. I'm not comparing Nipsey to Jay or Beyonce, but you know, Nipsey, you know, he's been around LA for a long time, and you know, and just like, you can't stop word of mouth. Yeah. So with him being around and how he spits and his delivery and who he is and everything else like that, he could do the numbers that he's doing, because everything with social media, you know, his authenticity, you know, his realness, his, you know, his movement on the street can do something. You know, Beyonce and Jay, they're a brand, you know, and that's why it worked. If you like the record or don't like the records, you know, that's why it worked with her.
Cool. Now, last question I want to ask you before we get out of here. Looking back now, is there any one thing you would like to change or do differently? Because I just watched this movie over the weekend called Edge of Tomorrow, and every day he started the same day over and over again. So he had to keep doing things differently to see different results. So is there anything you would do differently looking back?
No.
I'm not even talking about, like, you know, I would sign this artist, and just anything.
You know, I just lost my dad. So he knew I loved him. I would have probably told him, and I know he loved me, but I would have probably expressed myself a little bit more.
I'm getting no realer than that. You know, is there anything else you'd like to say to the camera?
That's it, man. Support ADD, Tayyib Ali, love Dollhouse, Nikki Eaton, and 3D Nati, and the rest of the family.
Yep. All right, it's your boy Brandon B. Wyche, man, here with Hip Hop since 1987, signing off.
Shout my hip hop since 1987, niggas. Hip hop since 1987.com.